Alright, so today we're not going to go very deeply into Excel. We're going to just learn a couple functions to match the mathematical symbols that we use. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to deal with the ability to do a factorial, the ability to do permutations and combinations. And then in Excel you should be able to change these into functions that can give you answers. So let's clearing off my Blackboard screen as you're just staring at Excel. Switch over here. What we need to be able to do is we need to be able to take some number factorial. And in Excel, there is a factorial function. We also need to be able to take n permutations r, which we have a formula for, which is n factorial over n minus r factorial. And then an n combinations r, which is n factorial over n minus r factorial, dividing out r factorial. And so these are the three functions we're going to do in Excel. Now, distinguishable permutations, n factorial over n1 factorial times n2 factorial, and so on up to n sub k factorial, you're going to have to make out of the factorial function itself. But that's okay. We'll look at finding a way to do these three functions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little table here of these functions. Let's see, I believe I was there. And so if we want to look at factorial, so n factorial, and then n permutations r, and n combinations r. And so n factorial is going to be equals FAC T parentheses and then the number. So if it's some cell, if it's some value. In fact, I'm going to create cells over here of what n and p, n and r are, n and r are. So we're going to say n is equal to, we're going to grab 12 things and we might choose from them 3. And so if I want to do n factorial, I'll do factorial. And so I have to grab where my variable n is, which in this case is h2. And 12 factorial gives me a really large number. Now, NPR is permute for permutation. And then the first thing I need is I need n. And then I'm going to need r, which is in cell h3. And if I choose 3 things out of 12, there are 1,320 different permutations that this can take. But if order doesn't matter, and I do NCR, all those combinations, that's COMBN, and again H2, H3. And there's only 220 different combinations I can make where order doesn't matter out of 12 objects. And so these functions are useful for us in Excel. Also, we had the binomial distribution, which will come back up, binom, which is equal to the number of trials, or the number of the variable. Oh, I forgot the word dish. There we go. The number of trials, so say 0 trial, or the number of successes, which will say 0. We'll do 12 trials, and we'll do a 50-50. You know, how many heads? If you flip a coin 12 times, what is the probability that you would get exactly 0 tails? And it's a small probability. And so these are the functions that we're going to use. Now, you're going to use these functions to construct some probabilities.